everybody, it is Katie here from the Queen of Teen Fiction, and it is that time again, time to talk all things Shadowhunters. Okay, so the past 2 weeks we have had episodes 7 and 8. As always, I'm going to start with the episode from a week ago, which was episode 7, and then I will move on to discussing the most recent episode, episode 8. I'm actually lightheaded making this video because I haven't had breakfast yet. I just wanted to film this first, but that was a bad idea because I'm excited and I'm enthusiastic, and that takes energy that I don't have. I want food. But anyway, episode 7. So I really liked episode 7. It wasn't my favourite, but I actually really enjoyed it. And let me tell you why I enjoyed it so much. It's because Jace finally started to act like Jace. He was the Jace that I recognised from the books. The episode mostly focused on him and Clary tracking down the mortal cup. In episode 6, Clary finally figured out where the cup was hidden. So episode 7 was all about the chase to get that cup. So they end up in the police station trying to get the tarot card from Luke's belongings. And of course poor Luke ends up getting questioned for murder, as you do. And so Clary and Jace are having to find a sneaky way to get a hold of that tarot card. So I've mentioned a few times, that Clary and Jace are one of the things that I'm not really too keen on in the show. However, in episode 7, I actually really liked the scenes between them. There was more humour in their interactions, a bit more banter, and they were flirty but in a way that wasn't cheesy like it was in the previous episodes. So I was thrilled. The scene where Clary and Jace put on a bit of a show in the police station so that Clary can get inside. I adored that scene so much. When Jace was acting like the super player boyfriend, he was actually acting more like Jace from the books. I felt like Jace acting out that scene is more how he should have been in the show from the start, if that makes sense. But I love that scene. And they included the other 10% slap. Okay, so it wasn't how it went down in the books, but they've included it, they've found a way to add it into the show. So we still get to see Clary finally give Jace a slap. So I am happy about that. Also the scene when they come out of the police station and Clary ends up getting attacked by that demon that looks like an old woman. And Jace is like, Grandma! That was funny. I like that. That was good. I think my favourite scene from that whole episode though has to be Alec attempting to flirt his way into the police station. Amazing. I mean, iconic masterpiece. Do you come here often? I work here. Alec, I love you so much. Izzy was slaying once again in this episode. I love the Lightwoods a lot. I've told you how much I love the Lightwoods, you don't need to know that again. What else I really loved in this episode was Simon's story. Obviously whilst Clary's off chasing the cup, Simon is on his own, struggling. I loved the scene between him, his mum and his sister Rebecca. I'm glad that they've brought them into the show now. I love Alberto as Simon. I think he's played this vampire thing really well so far, because I was a little worried about Simon's transition. It has so much potential to look terrible. Transition scenes can be really cheesy, especially in shows like this, typical teen type shows, but I think Alberto is playing it brilliantly. The only things that didn't really work for me in the episode was the scene at the start when Simon's in bed with Maureen and he hallucinates her as Clary. It was a little awkward, but it was funny. I love Simon obviously working out about the vampire thing, and he's sitting outside taking notes about his potential vampirism and watching Dracula. It was cheesy in a good way because it's Simon. It was just so very Simon. So I really enjoyed all of that throughout the episode. The ending wasn't as strong as the rest of the episode. That kiss between Clary and Jace, I'm not so sure on it. I liked poor Jellic Alice! Oh, language, Katie. Speak proper language. I liked Jealous Alec storming off after that kiss. That was great. But the kiss itself was a bit in the middle of the institute in front of everyone. It's like a big gesture type of thing. Not sure how I feel about that. I mean, it doesn't really bother me either way because, like I said, Jace and Clary aren't the main relationship that I'm interested in the show. So I'm not really bothered that they've changed it from the books. When they first kiss in the books, it's the greenhouse scene. I'm not really bothered that they've changed it. I would have liked to have seen it done a little bit differently with maybe just the two of them, because I want to be invested in their relationship. I want to like them as a couple. So I'd rather see these moments between them alone. And the thing is, in the books, I actually do really like the greenhouse scene, which I'm pretty sure they'll include a scene like that in the show at some point. But I liked that that was their first kiss in the books. However, when the movie did it, that was terrible. That was really bad. Demi Lovato playing in the background, that was a bad scene. I remember feeling so uncomfortable in the cinema when that scene happened. So maybe they just didn't want to make the same mistake twice when it came to doing it in the show. But yeah, apart from that, I really enjoyed episode 7. Okay, so moving on to our most recent episode, episode 8. I think episode 8 might just be my favourite episode so far. I've said that about a couple of episodes in the past, but I think episode 8 is taking the crown for me at the moment. There were just lots of things about it that I really enjoyed, and it took a few things straight out of the books that I loved as well. So episode 8 deals with the fallout from the ending of episode 7, in which we saw Simon get attacked by Camille, and so Raphael brings Simon's body to the Institute. Things progress from there. Meanwhile, an envoy from the Clave is sent to investigate the Lightwoods and how they're running the Institute. And that envoy comes in the shape of Lydia Bramwell. A large part of this episode focused on Lydia. Lydia is a character that we knew about in advance. We knew that she was coming into the show, although she's not a character in the book. And she's a character that I have been equally dreading and highly anticipating, because her storyline I'd heard rumours about and I wasn't so sure how I felt about that. So yeah, I was waiting to see what she was going to be like, and I've got to say, I really liked her character. She kind of dominated the scenes that she was in. She came in straight away feisty and ready to kick some ass. You would not mess with her. And so for those reasons alone, I like her character and I'm excited to see more of her. Still not sure how I feel about the storyline with her and Alec, which I will get to in a minute. So Lydia Bramwell is a descendant of Henry Bramwell. So there was one scene between her and Alec when they were talking about Magnus, and she admits that she's excited to meet Magnus because of his connection to her ancestor Henry Bramwell. And I loved that reference. Please give me all the references. I'm loving them so much. Also, Alec. Magnus is magical. Oh, Alec, sweetheart. But I agree, he is very magical. Alec and Lydia have a few scenes that I really liked, especially the discussion about Lydia's husband who died. So I was kind of dreading the scenes between them, and they actually ended up being really great. But then, that ending! Okay. With Lydia's character, I knew that she was coming in as part of a marriage storyline. We'd heard rumours that it was an arranged marriage. And a couple of weeks ago when Isabel was mentioning the marriage thing, it did kind of feel like it was going to be something that Alec was forced into. And then we get to the end of that episode. I did not expect him to get down on one knee and propose to the woman. Alexander Lightwood, when Magnus Bane told you to start living for yourself and to follow your heart, that is not what he meant. Literally, what is he doing? It's been one day. One day! I honestly can't wait to see how Jace reacts to this. Like, Jace leaves the Institute for a day to deal with some serious crap, and he's gonna come back to find out that Alec is engaged to somebody he's never met. I'm excited to see the fallout from this. I did not expect to see Alec down on one knee in this episode. I didn't think this storyline was going to go this way. I'm interested to see how Lydia's character is going to progress with this, because I'm wondering whether she's going to know that Alec's heart isn't really in this marriage, because when they had that scene when they were discussing Magnus and he was talking about how magical Magnus was, Lydia's expression said a lot. From that, it looked like she was slightly suspicious of Magnus and Alec. So I'd like to see whether she has an inkling that maybe Alec actually really wants Magnus Bane. It's interesting, this storyline. I'm glad I like Lydia as well, because I was expecting to not like her, and I think I am going to like her character. What else I loved in this episode was Raphael. I love Raphael. so much. He's played perfectly by the actor David Castro. I'm just so pleased with his portrayal of Raphael. We haven't really seen much of Raphael. We got a few scenes with him in that episode with Camille, and then another little scene with him later on. But like it plays out in the books, Raphael is the one that brings Simon to the Institute, and he's with Clary and Jace when they bury him to become a vampire. And he was just great. I really enjoyed his presence on screen. I can't wait to see more of Raphael. Also, all of those scenes with regards to Simon becoming a vampire were really great, because the scenes in the graveyard were exactly how I pictured them in the books. So I thought they were very accurately done. And also, poor little Simon utterly broke my heart. When he actually crawls out of that grave and he's like devouring the blood, that was just so like it was in City of Ashes, and I was so pleased. And then he has that heartbreaking conversation with Clary, and I actually really enjoyed Clary in this scene. The emotions were real. Also, can we talk about Vampire Simon? Vampire Simon is exceptionally attractive. I was not prepared to be that attracted to Vampire Simon. I'm down for that. I can't wait to see more of Vampire Simon. We also got a few more scenes with Magnus in episode 8. They were as fabulous as I expected them to be. I think it's pretty clear to everyone now that I love Harry as Magnus, so I was excited to see more Magnus scenes. I love the scene between him and Isabel. I feel like it's setting up that friendship between them. And I like when they talk about Alec and how Isabel says that not everybody has the luxury to choose who they love. So that was a really great scene. Also, the scene between Magnus and Alec, I mean, you don't need me to tell you that I loved that scene. I appreciated that scene. Another thing I wrote down in my notes, the Falcon story. Jace tells the Falcon story to Clary, and I'm so glad that it was included, and I actually love the way that he told it as well. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. There wasn't really anything that I didn't like in this episode. I'm a bit torn over the Forsaken, because I kind of do like them. They remind me a little bit of the zombies from The Walking Dead, but they look creepy. I like the scene when one broke into the Institute and started fighting with Hodge. But I'm a little because Hodge is working with Valentine, isn't he? Well, you know, he is in the books. I assume he is in the show as well. I don't know. So I'm kind of wondering whether he was prepared for that attack. It didn't look like he was. He looked genuinely shocked by the random Forsaken that came in and tried to beat his ass. So I don't know. It was a nice fight scene though. Oh, the scenes with Camille at the end was interesting when they were burying Simon and she appeared to claim what was hers. Clary slapping Camille. I liked that. Go Clary. Raphael taking down Camille. Yes. I'm not sure as to Camille's fate. I don't know what the vampires have done with her. They all like gathered round her. Are they killing her or what? I don't know. Still not sure about the actress playing Camille. I still can't decide whether I like her or not. She doesn't feel like the Camille I know from the books. She feels like a villain, and she's a good villain. She's just not the character I know. We had another scene with Valentine talking to unconscious Jocelyn again. And I actually like that one this time around because it shows that he genuinely is in love with Jocelyn in his own weird twisted way. So whilst the previous Valentine scenes were kind of this one worked better, I think. But yeah, I really enjoyed episode 8. It really felt like the books to me. I mean, I know things are different, but with the whole Simon vampire thing, it just felt like a really good, accurate adaptation. So I am happy with that. I'm excited to see more of Lydia. I'm excited to see poor vampire Simon struggling, coming to terms with him being a vampire. I think those scenes in the future are going to be great. I'm looking forward to seeing what Alberto brings. So overall, I had another positive outlook on the past couple of episodes. There are still a lot of people that would utterly disagree with everything that I've said and just dislike the show. But you know what? Life's too short to be negative all the time. At the end of the day, if you don't enjoy the show, then don't watch it. I like to find the positives in it. And whilst it's not the best TV show that I have seen in the world, there's still the characters that I know and love coming to life on screen. I'm still getting some of my favourite scenes from the books, so I'm happy. As always, please let me know your thoughts on the past 2 episodes. What have you loved? What have you maybe not so loved? Did you have a favourite moment? I know those shirtless Matthew Daddario working out scenes will be a few people's favourite moment. Tell me all the Shadowhunters things in the comments. Before I wrap up this video, you should know what I am sacrificing to film and edit this video, because filming and editing takes time. Editing sometimes takes me 2 whole days because it's a nightmare. And that is time that I could be spending doing something else in particular. Because just before I started filming, an Arc of Lady Midnight was delivered to my house. I was lucky enough to win this from the fabulous Amber at the Mile Long bookshelf, and it arrived today, literally just as I was about to start filming. You do not know how much I wanted to drop everything, even the camera that I was holding, to read this book, because it's Lady Midnight. But I didn't. I did not. I made the commitment to film this video regardless. That was a difficult decision, you guys. I just felt like you should know what I am sacrificing to do this video. So yeah, there's that. I will wrap up the video now so that I can edit it quickly and start reading. And thank you all so much for watching. I look forward to discussing future episodes with you. I will see you next time. Bye!